Men, listen up. The truth is, when it comes to attracting women, there are two paths that you can take. The path of the Playboy or the path of the Loverboy. But which one leads to true success? Which one will make you a true man? A man that women can't help but be drawn to. A man that women want to be with and never leave. It's a harsh reality that society is filled with distractions and temptations that can lead men astray. The constant bombardment of sexual imagery through porn and social media has led to a generation of men who are struggling to connect with women on a deeper level. This addiction to instant gratification and superficial pleasure has destroyed masculinity and left men feeling empty and unfulfilled. But there is hope. Men can break free from these destructive patterns and reclaim their masculinity. It's a journey that requires self-awareness, discipline, and a willingness to be vulnerable. But for those who are willing to take that journey, the rewards are immeasurable. This video is not about searching for masculinity, but rather, it is about helping men understand the differences. It's about helping men understand the attitudes and approaches that lead to true success in attracting women. It's about the cold, hard truths that men need to hear in order to become the men that they were meant to be. A playboy is a man who is primarily focused on pleasure and instant gratification. He's often seen as charming and charismatic, but his intentions are often self-serving. He is a master at playing the game of seduction, but his relationships are shallow and superficial. He's addicted to the thrill of the chase, but he never truly commits to a woman. On the other hand, the Loverboy is a man who's focused on building deep and meaningful connections with women. He's driven by a desire to understand and appreciate the unique qualities of each woman that he encounters. He's not interested in playing games or manipulating women. Instead, he's genuinely interested in getting to know them on a deeper level. He's willing to be vulnerable and open with his emotions, and he's committed to building lasting relationships. So, men, the question is, which one do you want to be? A playboy who's always chasing the next thrill, or a Loverboy who's building something real and lasting? Being a playboy may seem like the easy path. It's exciting, it's thrilling, and it can be incredibly satisfying in the moment. But make no mistake, it comes with a heavy price. As the great philosopher Aristotle once said, "Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work." And while it may seem like a playboy's life is full of pleasure, the truth is, it's a never-ending cycle of emptiness and unfulfillment. Being a playboy means constantly having to hide your true self. It means always being on guard, always trying to impress, always trying to manipulate. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, and it's exhausting. It's like trying to fill a bottomless pit with superficial pleasure, and it will never be enough. It's a path that leads to loneliness, emptiness, and unfulfillment. It also means constantly living in fear of being found out, fear of being rejected, fear of being alone, fear of being exposed. Just like trying to walk on a tightrope, one false step and you fall. It's a path that leads to a life of constant anxiety and stress. And let's not forget about the women. Being a playboy means using and manipulating women for your own pleasure. It means treating them like objects and discarding them when you're done. It's like trying to quench your thirst with salt water. It'll only make you more thirsty. This path leads to a lifetime of guilt and shame. Oscar Wilde once said, "The only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it." The temptation of being a playboy may be hard to resist, but remember, the true measure of a man is not how much pleasure he can find, but how much he can give. So, men, be honest with yourselves. Is the thrill of the chase really worth it? Is it worth sacrificing your integrity, your self-worth, and your relationships? Men, being a Loverboy may not seem as exciting or thrilling as being a playboy, but it is the path that leads to true success and fulfillment. As the ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." And when it comes to relationships, being a Loverboy means having few wants and focusing on building genuine connections. Being a lover boy means being true and authentic. Like a breath of fresh air, it may be uncomfortable at first, but it will ultimately lead to deeper and more meaningful relationships that leads to genuine love and connection. It also means being a true partner to the women in your life. It means understanding and appreciating their unique qualities and being committed to building a lasting relationship. Fine wine may take time to mature, but it will be worth the wait. And let's not forget about the personal growth. Being a lover boy means constantly striving to improve yourself and become the best version of yourself. It's a long journey, but a worthy one. The minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere, they're in each other all along, Rumi said. Being a lover boy means being open to the possibility of true love and being ready for it when it comes. Understanding the difference between being a playboy and a lover boy is one thing, but actually becoming a lover boy is another. It takes work, commitment, and a willingness to change, but the rewards are worth it. Here are some practical steps that you could take to start your journey to becoming a lover boy. Step 1. Start by being honest with yourself. Take a hard look at your behavior and your intentions. Are you truly interested in building genuine connections with women? Or are you just trying to get the next thrill? This step is crucial because it's impossible to change something if you don't first acknowledge it. Be honest with yourself about what you want and what you're currently doing, and this will be the first step towards making a change. Step 2. Develop a deeper understanding of women. One of the key aspects of being a lover boy is understanding the needs, the wants, and the perspectives of women. This step requires you to educate yourself, read books, listen to podcasts, and talk to women. By taking the time to understand women, you'll be able to build deeper connections with them. Step 3. Work on yourself. Becoming a lover boy is not just about understanding women. It's also about becoming the best version of yourself. Improve your physical and mental health, and develop your talents and skills. Strive to become a well-rounded individual. As the famous philosopher Confucius said, "The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones." This step is a continuous process. It takes time and effort. Step 4. Be open to vulnerability. Being a lover boy means being open to vulnerability, and that can be scary. But it's necessary for building deep and meaningful connections. Learn to be open and honest with your emotions, and practice active listening. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. Do not be afraid of vulnerability. Embrace it. Step 5. Practice self-discipline. Building lasting relationships takes self-discipline. Learn to control your impulses. Napoleon Hill put it very well by saying, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts." Men, becoming a lover boy is a choice. It's a decision to take control of your life and to become the best version of yourself. Start today, and you'll be on your way to building genuine connections and fulfilling relationships. We have covered a lot of ground on this video. We've talked about the difference between being a lover boy and a playboy, the consequences of being a playboy, the benefits of being a lover boy, and the practical steps to become a lover boy. But it all comes down to one question. What kind of man do you want to be? Do you want to be a man who's constantly chasing superficial pleasure and fleeting thrills? Or do you want to be a man who's building deep and meaningful connections with women or men? The choice is yours. It's up to you to decide what kind of man you want to be. But remember, as the famous philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Do not let society dictate who you should be. Be true to yourself and be the kind of man that you want to be. So, men, take the first step. Be honest with yourself. Develop a deeper understanding of women. Work on yourself. Be open to vulnerability. Practice self-discipline and become a Loverboy. You'll be on your way to building genuine connections, fulfilling relationships, and, again, becoming the best version of you.